Hey, Chocolicious, aka Sherelle, joining you. Um, you're new to the channel. I'm new to the channel. So, first of all, welcome. This is the final quarter of 2025. With 2026 just around the corner, it comes a lot of excitement, a lot of anxiety, a lot of unknown, all of those emotions rolled into one. So if you've watched my other two videos, and there haven't been many, like I said, this is a new channel, you've seen that this has been a lifelong journey for me ever since I was a little girl. But I've, in my adulthood, found a way this time. I found a way this time to really see the impact and sustain the goals over a long period of time. Like I told you before, I've found and lost the same 50 pounds over and over and over again. And what I said last time, I think it's the same. It's the huge difference is my mindset has changed. So I found what's called ADF. And I'm sure if you do a Google search, ADF is alternate day fasting. And what it does is, for me, like I told y'all before, I am an expert in all things Sherelle. Results may vary if you choose to follow along at your own risk. But I'm an expert in all things Sherelle. What I know about Sherelle Chocolicious, I know that portion control goes over my head. But I also know that I can withstand for long periods of time for things if I have a plan in place. Like I told you before, active gal. Always been active in my adulthood. I run probably every day, probably 6 out of 7 days a week. Some may have an opinion about that not being healthy. Hey, that's you. That's for you. Like I said, I'm all things Sherelle expert. It works for me. But I run. But last year, I was doing the same thing, but I was doing it differently. I had a different mindset. So last year, I was still working out, as we always have a goal. My goal was always to lose weight, but I found myself I was stagnant because I was still eating terrible. And I stumbled upon a plant-based lifestyle vegan quite a while ago. It was influenced by just me challenging myself because a friend had introduced the concept to me. That wasn't nothing that I talked about in my group circles. Plant-based vegan, when you hear the word vegan, and if you're ignorant like I was at the time, it makes you feel like it's something crazy, some other crazy fad. But when I did research, and like we always do, we go to YouTube University and we find out what works for us, and we may apply everything. We may pick little pieces that we believe we can do. But vegan lifestyle, plant-based, it was a good test. It was a good step in the right direction. But when I tell you, just because it's vegan and just because it's plant-based does not mean it is healthy. There are so many things out there on the market right now that have labels that say plant-based or vegan, and it's definitely not good for your body. It's definitely going to actually be worse than the other thing that you could have chosen. Hey, I'm no saint here when it comes to food. I just put that out there, and I know that from holding on to a vegan plant-based lifestyle for maybe about 4 years, I found myself gaining weight. The pounds was going up. This is all at the same time while still working out, still running. When I say running, I'm running in marathons, y'all. Half marathons, the rock and roll, if you are familiar, you know that event is very exciting, a lot of runners. And there was a bridge run that I participated in for probably about 13 years now. I run routinely, and I run in my neighborhood. But those things, like they say, even though it may sound bad, but you cannot outwork a bad diet. You can't do it. You cannot do it. So that's what I was doing. I was trying to outwork that bad diet and not seeing the results. But fast forward to today. Actually, we'll back up and fast forward to September. I stumbled upon the thing called alternate day fasting. Like I told you in the previous video, the month of September, I did rolling 72s. And just to recap on what that is every 72 hours, there was no food consumption, no calories. I would only consume water, tea, and coffee. No, I didn't put any creamer in it. I was laser focused. And then after those 72 hours, I would have 2 days, so 48 hours to be able to refuel. I was a little bit, I wasn't too strict on what I was consuming because I understood that I was doing 72 hours with no consumption. And that in itself is definitely a challenge. It's hard. So I would eat food for 48 hours and then go back into the 72 hours. I did that for the whole month, y'all. I started in that month at 213 pounds. I ended that month keeping that same momentum at 195. October came around and Chocolicious is feeling herself. She is feeling herself. So what I did was I went and I scaled back. I did 48 hours rolling. So same concept, but instead of 72 hours, I was doing 48 hours. Again, I gave myself a little bit too much grace. I was still eating, but I was eating a little bit more unhealthy than I was in September. So I only saw a weight loss of 5 pounds in the month of October, but a weight loss is a win to me. It's not a gain. So I did that for the whole month of October. In November, y'all know what come around in November? Thanksgiving. And culturally, you don't pass up Thanksgiving. You don't not eat. I was still running, still active. But in November, what I did was I did true alternate day fasting. And if those of you who've researched it, you understand that 36 hours is kind of like a day and a half or a day and a couple of hours. You can do the math. I'm not a mathematician. 36 hours, no food consumption. And then I gave myself an eating window of 12 hours. I did that for the whole month of November. And this was also in combination with, I did that 12-hour window to refuel. I was a lot more conscious about what I was eating during that time. And I believe I got down to probably about 179. So I am glad to report to you today while I'm shooting this video, it is December the 23rd. Christmas is a couple of days away. Those of you who celebrate it, may your Christmas be all that you want. And if you don't celebrate it, hopefully you're amongst people that you love, you enjoy their company, and you're doing what you want to do. Anyhow, back on point. The month of December, right now, I'm doing alternate day fasting still. So we're in second month of true alternate day fasting. Y'all, when I say Chocolicious is feeling herself, I'm going in the closet. I'm not even buying clothes. I don't buy clothes. I'm not the shopper. I like shoes. I like shoes and purses. My husband always, gifts me and rewards me with shoes because he knows that I like that. But he's the stylish one out of the two. In every duo, you got somebody that don't care what they put on or don't care what they look like, and somebody that, they got to be magazine ready. That is not me, ever, on any day. But what I will say is that this month here, my confidence is through the roof. And if we're being transparent and being honest, you know that when you're carrying more weight than what you're comfortable with carrying, it takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on the mental. It really, changes how you navigate through life, through social settings, and let's be honest, in intimate settings. Those of you who are married or who have a partner, you know that you carry yourself in a different way when you're carrying more weight that you're comfortable with. So, yeah, confidence through the roof in this month. So I'm keeping that same momentum. But what I wanted to come on here and tell you guys and give you guys an update on is what I am doing for January. January is around the corner, and everybody's going to have those New Year's resolutions like, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight. Whoop-de-doo. This is something that we are very familiar with. I think, just speaking on Sherelle, Chocolicious, I think that we should change our mindset when we're trying to get on our weight loss journey and try to establish better habits first. Because a number, when you're looking at that scale, it's going to go up and down, up and down. And if that scale is your only measure of success or steps in the right direction, it can be very, very, very discouraging. Very discouraging. And you don't want that small piece of the big picture to throw you off everything that you've been working so hard for. You might want to get disciplined with being more on time, being more organized, and those small steps can mean a huge impact. Like, I want to be on time, so what I've been doing now is I've been getting my clothes up the night before. If I know I'm going to the gym, which I am, I get my clothes up the night before. I have a mental idea of what I want to wear so that I'm not just wasting time on trying to figure out what I'm going to wear to the gym. It sounds very small, very minor, but it's a huge impact on someone whose goal is to, be more intentional with their time. So that's a goal, and I think that's just a little something I wanted to share with you guys so that you're not so much leaning towards that number on the scale. Granted, the number on the scale definitely, that's the icing on the cake. But I am going to be doing for January the 1st through the 3rd, 72-hour reset. And guess what? Chocolicious. I've convinced 3 of my friends who have similar goals to do it with me. And if you know anything, if you have community or if you have support, it's a lot easier to take that path. Everybody got different goals. Everybody is going to have different goals, but they want to lead to the same location. But everybody got a house and everybody got an address. It's a different path to their house every time. It's a different path to their address. They want to get home. And I say that to say this. We all want to get better as it relates to our health. We all want that number on the scale to look and to be a certain number. But for everybody, their goals is going to be different, and how they arrive at those goals is going to be different. I'm just sharing with you what's been working for me, and I believe if you just test it out, it may work for you. So January the 1st through the 3rd, there will be no food consumption. And I want to let y'all in on something. I'm a little bit excited about it because doing this alternate day fasting, it really tests your mental fortitude. It really does. So for me, for my journey, I want to share some of the feelings that I've been experiencing. So, and it's crazy because I never would have thought this would come with this. So on the days where I'm not supposed to be eating or consuming any calories, the fasting days, if you will, I have so much clarity. I have so much clarity. I'm not focused on food. I get so much done. And it's like, I feel like Superwoman. That's crazy. On the days where I get to eat, you have no idea how much anxiety I put on myself about what I can eat because there's too many options. Y'all know it's 2025. You can get online and order a full course meal and it'll arrive at your door probably within an hour's time. Obviously, you're going to pay that surcharge for the delivery, but it's just such a convenience that we operate in. It causes us, in my opinion, to be very, very lazy. DoorDash, shout out to the DoorDashers, not anything on the DoorDashers, but you understand anything in overconsumption is going to be terrible for you, especially when you're not pairing that with an active lifestyle. So on the days where I'm fasting, I feel like Superwoman. On the days where I am able to eat, it's anxiety because I know I have too many options. And Sherelle, Chocolicious, I do not operate in a path or in the right way when it comes to moderation. If I love it, it's going to be overconsumption, y'all. That's why I believe that alternate day fasting is the best thing for me since sliced bread. I also want to talk about just some of the other benefits that, maybe most people don't think about. Acne. Adult acne is real. But adult acne, most of the time, is going to be spiked based off consumption in dairy products. Y'all know, we Americans, we put cheese on everything. Dairy is one of the main reasons why you have so much bad acne. Granted, you have other environmental things and stress, but those things you can control. You also can control your consumption as it relates to dairy. But that's one of the benefits that I've found from alternate day fasting. Another benefit that I found from alternate day fasting is I just have so much energy. I'm a night owl, so I'm always up late night, and I'm not up late night dragging. Y'all, I'm telling you, I'm up late night. I'm writing books. I have 2 pieces of work in the process right now. And I'm actually going to complete one of my goals that was in place last year that I didn't complete. Actually, rewind that back. It was in place in 2023 that I did not complete. I'm trying to give myself some grace because my mindset and my mental thought process is different now than it was then. And I feel like this is going to get me to the place where I'm not making excuses. I'm just setting up for results. I get agitated with people who make excuses. How is that going to serve you? How is it going to benefit you? If it got to get done, what's the reason for delaying it? Do it now. And that's the mindset, and that's the way that I'm operating now based off this alternate day fasting. Also, there are going to be some barriers. There's barriers in everything in life. That's why we're here. You're going to have to find what works for you. But what I found what works for me is those barriers, you kind of like know ahead of time. You know if you got an engagement, you know if you have a social setting that would make it almost nearly impossible for you to fast or to abstain from anything. So look at your calendar and plan it out. I never was a planner, y'all. Never was a planner. But now I plan those things out. I have a calendar. Call me cuckoo, but I have a calendar for days for the month. And my calendar reflects my eating days and it reflects my fasting days. And I know that if I have a social event or if I have something that I want to be able to consume for, I will adjust. Yes, you can adjust with alternate day fasting to allow that space in that room so that it's guilt-free. Because it's mental warfare when you got to break. For me, for Chocolicious, it's mental warfare when I have to break a promise to myself. I feel like that's what it is. Breaking a promise to yourself, that's an uncomfortable place to be. Because your mind remembers that letdown. You know what it feels like to be let down by others. But to be let down by yourself, that's not a good feeling. I don't like that feeling. So I don't like to break promises that Chocolicious made to Chocolicious. So the plan, to just recap, January the 1st through the 3rd, Chocolicious and 3 wonderful souls that I've convinced to join me with will be doing 72-hour fast. That 72-hour fast includes no food consumption, water, herbal tea, coffee if necessary, no sweeteners. We're not playing with stevia or anything like that because we want the true benefits of what a water fast can do for you. And what better time than to do it than 2026? We shedding everything that wasn't in our favor and that didn't serve us in 2025. And we walking in to everything that is for us in 2026. So if you found this message or this idea or the concept inspiring, like, share, comment, and guess what? If you decide to join the challenge, the 72-hour challenge that we're going to be doing, let me know how it worked for you. Signing out, Chocolicious.